The Local Drunks Podcast with Saul and Daniel. Local Drunks Podcast. We can't afford an audio producer. Hell yeah. Welcome to Local Drunks Podcast. I'm Daniel.
I'm Saul.
And this is the Local Drunk Podcast. Local Drunks Podcast.
There we go. Almost every single time.
Almost every single fucking
Almost.
God damn it. All right, let me run these socials, and then I guarantee I'll nail it this time. Follow us on Instagram and Patreon at Local Drunks Podcast. Fuck.
At Local Drunks Pod.
Just pod. YouTube.com. Local Drunks Pod.
I think on YouTube, if you punch in Local Drunks Podcast, it will come into it'll actually pop. Yeah, it'll actually go to Narcotics Anonymous NA. No,
let me get both of those, please.
Yeah, actually, the police show up right at your door. And like, you know what, sir?
We heard
a priest. You need an intervention.
Bless you.
Yeah. What are those guys called? The
Mormons.
Yes, exactly. On the bikes with the no seats.
Yeah. Raw dogging Jesus.
Raw dogging. Say something for the Holy Ghost.
Oh, hell
It's okay as long as they just soak their
come knock the bed for me.
Yeah.
I'm about to pray. Oh.
Yeah. As long as they don't move, they'll be okay.
Just wish for an earthquake.
Yeah. Just have someone kick the back tire.
You gotta pay extra. Hell yeah. This podcast is brought to you by Soaking.
Yeah. So Instagram or YouTube or even Patreon at Local Drunks Pod. And then also, if you have any questions, want us to talk about something, any news that we haven't covered or something that we missed, especially in your area, and you want someone to talk about it, localdrunkspod at gmail.com. Gmail.com. We would like to open up with an apology. The volume on a lot of our episodes is fucked up. I don't know what's going on. It sounds nice and clear when I'm done editing it, and then when I upload it, either Daniel's too low, or I'm too low, or we go in and out, or we switch. And I think last episode 7, this is episode 8, of course. Episode 7, I thought I fixed it, but then Daniel said you listened to it and it was kind of low for some odd reason.
I think yours might have been, but I'm not sure.
So I don't know what the hell's going on, but I level them out and then I kind of boost it up because I know that there's a little bit of loss whenever our RSS feed gets picked up by other podcast distributors.
Some kind of compression going on there.
Something. So we'd like to apologize. I'm actually doing completely different volume edits for YouTube because I know those are way off the board. I went through and listened to all the episodes again in the last week.
What I have a feeling this isn't going to be the first time we have to apologize about something.
Jesus Christ. That's the only thing we're apologizing for is volume in general. If any of you guys want an apology, go fuck yourself.
To apologize to absolutely no one.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, we'd like to apologize. We know that like a lot of people do listen to this in their car while they're driving and like having
romantic.
I was listening to in my there you go. Mid plunge. I'm halfway down the shaft and I can't hear the joke Daniel just said. Rewind it, babe.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I missed the joke.
Yeah.
Are you into the podcast and not me? What's going on here?
Shh, don't wait and get off.
It's for the boys.
Yeah. It's Saturday. Even though we release on Mondays.
Ooh, boy do we.
But volume change. I'm working on it. We'll get it all figured out.
We promise to do better.
We promise to do better, yeah. But it is one of those things too that like I have been driving on the highway and I have to turn my volume on the phone and the radio all the way up and I can still barely hear somebody. Yeah. So I'm just like shit.
You know, we should incorporate clips that are just extremely loud, so that way it just blows everyone's fucking eardrums. What the fuck was that?
That'd be kind of cool.
Sponsorships.
Yeah, if anyone wants to, what hearing aid company could fucking sponsor us next. Anyway, what we're drinking today, we're actually drinking a bunch of different beers. The last 2 beers have been Japanese. This one, of course, is from Yoho Brewing Company out of Nagano, Japan. This is the Tokyo Black Porter. It's actually one of my favorite beers in general. It's pretty tasty. What do you think?
It's pretty good. I usually don't. I'm not a dark /heavy beer drinker. But this is pretty nice. It's very refreshing. Still crisp for even being, what is it, stout or
It's porter, yeah.
porter?
Yeah.
So on the higher end or darker end of the spectrum, but refreshing nonetheless.
Yeah, nice, low, roasty, bright. Really delicious. This was my fallback beer. I used to work at a beer bar, and if I didn't feel like drinking anything else, and I didn't feel like drinking a Montucky, I would drink a Tokyo Black.
Montucky, dude, those things
The
are
Montucky.
good.
Oh man, the Montucky's go down like water, and they're cheap
They're
too.
cheap.
I've introduced so many people to Montuckies.
We say that now, and then now they're gonna go up like $30 a case.
Jesus, it's gonna turn into
It's gonna be like a Pacifico situation.
yeah.
I'm like, bro,
No one wants to pay that much.
I used to eat that shit with tacos for $1.
Yeah, seriously. And then we're going to be drinking a Drake's beer called Advanced Dark pretty soon. It is it's called Advanced Oak. Sorry, Advanced Dark. Fucking hell. It's called Death of the Sun.
We apologize.
Bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout with Umburana wood chips. If any of you guys wondering what that sound was, it was Cook's zipping up his
Sorry,
fly.
I got excited.
He got it. As soon as I said Advanced Oak,
When you said Umburana,
he was like,
I was out.
You rang.
You hear that little... You rang.
Fucking Wes walks around all the time with his zipper down. I'm just like, you selling hot dogs, man? And he's just like, no. He goes, I don't know what it is about my walk, but my zipper always falls down. It's just like, it's always business time, baby.
Uh-huh. It's just trying to... It's like, let me out.
Yeah,
Let
he's
me out
trying
for
to-
once.
Yeah, no, please.
Wes, you got to show it some action, my G.
Yeah. And not,
Don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah. Yeah. Skin to skin, but not your skin.
It's tired of that one. It's like working in a restaurant. You're sick of the food. You have it every day.
Yeah. I eat salad every day. I want steak.
Oh boy, does it. Arby's. It's got the meats.
He's got the meats.
So anyway, yeah. How was your week? We apologize. We will do better.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay, now.
Fuck.
Nikki didn't text me at all about us talking about her. She's
Wow. So she's gonna go through, correct our fucking errors, and then not even continue to listen. Great. I'm glad that we did this just for you.
Out. The Brigitte Fonda was the last straw.
She's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
An insult.
Nowhere in particular this week. Had a pretty good week, but we're working quite a bit. But yeah, nowhere. Bro. Yeah, no, fucking Jesus Christ. I've lost like 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks.
Damn, dude.
Just water weight, probably.
It's all right. It's good.
And the X-Lax helps. And then it's hard to be, dropping GNS and then be like, I gotta go.
I gotta go clean my tanks now.
Yeah. Apologize to the cleaners for me. But yeah, no. Sante Darius is around the corner from actually where we're
Sante Darius.
recording. It was actually, went there. Pretty good spot. I like their beers. I remember having like the third beer they ever made. It's weird when you live in a town and there's a really small beer culture. And then what ends up happening is people do a lot of clout chasing. So they're like, oh, have you been here yet? And they'll be like, no, I've never been to New Hampshire. And they're like, oh, it's this little bar, this little brew pub in New Hampshire, and they have like a 98 point, my brain just stopped. They have a 98 point.
You selling Rocky fucking Balboa, bro? Someone punch drunk you're at? New Hampshire. New Hampshire.
And then they have like and they're like, oh, they have this, hazy beer that blah blah, like this and that, and you're just like, oh, cool. I've never been there. Like, oh, okay, we got to go. And it was like, cool. So like, there's guys who were just, a new brewery opened up, and they have like 3 beers on tap, and they have bottles. And then they like go to the West Coast, or they get someone to send them something. So when Sante first opened, this guy named Daniel, another guy Daniel actually, Uloa, he's kind of like a beer hunter. Whale hunters is what they kind of call them, because they just look for like really rare beers. They're all like Captain Ahab, super weird. Anyway,
it is.
But he brought like a beer, and it was a dark sour, and it was really freaking good. But yeah, no, they have pretty good beer. I think you and I actually went there, and
that's where the pictures for
that's
the
where the pictures from. Yeah, what did you think of that spot?
That's pretty cool. I mean, again, I'm not really an avid beer drinker. It just makes me feel full, bloated. I like the taste, though. Don't get me wrong. But I like the spot overall because it's like brick and super throwback. Looks really cool. Looks like that place on Shattuck that we just talked about the other week. I forget what it was. The bar.
Oh, Tupper and Reed.
Yeah, Tupper and Reed.
Tupper and Reed, yeah. No, it does. It has that idea. It
I like that old-timey vibe. It's like Boston, drinking a beer in Boston.
Yeah, Sante used to be a place called the Trappist.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Trappist was a beer bar that only carried Belgian beers.
Oh, shit.
I want to say. I hadn't been there in probably a decade now. But they closed in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Maybe 2019. I was still in Fresno when they closed, which was a bummer. But them and Beer Revolution, which was like 5 or 6 streets down.
Oh, that place was cool.
Yeah, because...
Why did they close? Lawsuits?
No, I think the pandemic killed them off. The pandemic killed a lot of these places off.
Right.
So, and Beer Rev was really cool because it was like walking into a cooler.
Right.
And it was just kind of grungy, kind of like a dive beer bar.
That was next door to the only vegan place, right? The vegan spot? The solely vegan?
I think so,
yeah. Right there on Broadway?
Yeah, it was, oh, no. It's on, I think it's on Broadway and like 4th or something, or 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
Good spot though.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah, but I remember I actually took my wife there when we came to Oakland, so she hit that spot, and I took her to the Trappist, and she really liked them both. But yeah, R.I.P. man.
R.I.P.
It's a bummer when good bars close, especially bars like that. And then, but yeah, it's the only place I would recommend if you're ever in Oakland, especially downtown. You look for something to do. Sante is a good spot to hit.
It's the only place?
Huh?
Say that's the only place you'd recommend?
No, looking for something to do. It's a place. If
I was like, damn,
the only place at Oakland.
Hey, look, I know we're struggling out here, but shit, bro, give us some slack.
Lana's is good. It's right down the street from Lana's, so go grab a burger from Lana's.
Bro, Lana's
go get a scoop of ice cream, and then walk over and get a brewski. You could even go around to, what is that? What's the sandwich spot there? They're always out of shit whenever you go.
Ratto's?
Ratto's, yeah. Ratto's is good.
8th Street.
8th Street, yeah. And Washington. Right?
Yeah.
No. 8th Street and Washington?
Washington, yeah.
Yeah.
It was between Washington and... 8th and...
Between 8th and 9th on 9th? Washington. Yeah.
Yeah, because Lana's is on 9th? 8th?
Lana's is on 8th.
8th and 9th, yeah.
And then 9th is the one where it ends. And then 10th is the... where the convention center's at. Okay. And then that's also where the video game history museum.
Building, and it continues in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Weird as shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't play in the city.
And you know what? Who did?
Lana's is fucking delicious, though.
Lana's is delicious. No, I'd recommend a lot of spots in Oakland. Yeah. But if you're ever in downtown Oakland looking for a good beer spot, Sante Darius is a good spot to hit. Those guys are out of Santa Cruz, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time.
HDLs, your LDLs. Go ahead and stop by Lana's.
If you don't care about your health in general,
your triglyceride levels.
Yeah, if you just want to have a heart attack at age 30.
Fuck, bring it on.
I knew I had a guy who had a heart attack at 24.
Good God, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
all he ate was carnitas for dinner, or what?
So yeah, Sante Darius, a good spot. Subscribe to the Patreon.
There was nothing in between now and the last for Sante Darius. Yeah.
You hear a weird cut. That's also another thing. You heard a weird cut in the last episode because I went on this 20-minute rant about coffee.
Oh shit, you did say that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that was the only way I could cut it to where it didn't sound super crazy. So I was just like,
I didn't even notice it, dude. Good job.
Yeah, so I cut it and it's just like out of the blue. I'm just like, all right, that's it.
We're done for the day.
And then we went on this, I went on this 20-minute rant about coffee, which will be on as well. But we also have to have a coffee episode in general. That was a good coffee rant, though, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, that was a solid one. I think you should take notes from that one.
Sometimes.
Maybe we'll talk about Red Bay then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about what you did this week. Are you go anywhere, do anything?
Oh, shit. Yeah. So let's see here. Did you watch anything this week, though?
Mm-hmm. I watched this one show called Thirst. With Shay Mitchell. She is one of the... I thought she was a Gossip Girl, but I was informed by my wife that she was a Pretty Little Liar. Both shows me and my wife have not watched, but she was like... I was like, yeah. I was like, she's on the show Blake Lively, right? Gossip Girl? And she was like,
Gossip.
I don't think I think she's on the other one with the girl with the big eyes. And I was like...
Gilmore Girls.
What? And then next I said, like, Gilmore Girls? And she was like, no, the other one with the liars that are dirty. And I'm just like,
the liars that are dirty.
Pretty Little Liars. And she was like, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, me and my wife are a think tank, and
the dirty liar one.
yeah, the dirty liar, the dirty little liars.
Hell yeah!
It's a horrible show.
Is it really?
It's on HBO Max.
I heard the ending was subpar. Is that? I don't know. No, I haven't seen any.
Oh no, I was talking about Thirst, not about.
Oh, it's a horrible show
for the little liars.
Oh shit! I don't know, bro.
yeah, we're talking about Pretty Little Liars now.
ADHD. This episode is brought to you by ADHD.
The CW. Whatever these shows are on, and
B-rated ass actors.
Yeah. Hey, we are for sale, Pretty Little Liars. Just kidding.
And CW.
And CW.
They'll buy us.
Yes.
They'll buy anything. Apparently.
Yeah, seriously, Jesus. As long as they have the same format, we have to at least have 3 love story arcs in one episode.
Shit, easy.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing?
And but no, it's horrible. So I watched this.
Yes, tell us more
I
about
started
this terrible
looking at
show.
this thing, and I was kind of just like, huh. So I saw the ad for it, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to all these countries and get to the root of why these people what makes these people tick and why they drink what they drink and all these other things."
Okay, so Bourdain approach.
And the Bourdain approach of to alcohol.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh shit, she's doing what I want to do." So
Sick.
of course I was a little jelly.
It's like 3 sheets.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, "Oh man, that sounds super fucking cool." So then I didn't watch it when it first came out. I think it came out over spring. And then this week I was like, oh shit, I got to watch something for the pod. So I was like, oh, I'll watch this thing. It's been on my wait list, and I don't really have time for a movie. I could watch something in 45-minute increments, and that's not a movie.
Yeah.
So I watched the first episode, and she's in Peru.
Okay.
And all she does is just jump around the South America, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
But she doesn't really talk about alcohol that much.
What?
It's
called thirst, and they neglect the thirsty part?
They do the Bourdain approach where it's the overarching narrator.
Okay. Is it her?
It's huh?
Is it her?
Yeah.
She's narrating?
She's narrating.
Okay.
And, but, excuse me.
Sorry.
They need to stop giving people with no life experience these fucking shows.
Ooh, no.
She has a little bit of restaurant industry experience, she said, in the show.
Bro, who's picking these people up, bro? Who's giving these?
But it's like she's been famous her whole life. So it's just the last 15 years.
Yeah, I don't even know who this person is, bro.
So she doesn't have that much life experience.
Okay.
So everything's kind of the first thing she talks about is she has to go to Machu Picchu.
Oh, of course,
because they're in Peru and that's what you do. And
she
talks about
she's just spitting on the locals.
Oh yeah, there's no this.
Get away from me!
And then I think one of her lines is you can't just tap into the spirituality of this place. You actually have to,
do yoga.
Give yourself to this whole spirituality journey of
you have
Peru.
to surrender yourself
and I'm just
to
I thought this was a
Peru.
fucking alcohol fucking show.
That's what she meant.
And I'm just like, what? And she drinks a lot.
Okay.
But it's weird because they go to this last episode's in Brazil. She walks in there and she's like, oh, I'll have a beer. And they just give her a Stella Artois. And I'm like,
the hell?
you're not. And then she ends up going to a spot that only carries local beers.
Okay.
Excuse me. But thank you. And then, but what ends up happening is, if I did my job properly, those sneezes will
be... The Local Drunk Podcast, brought to you by the nearest old folks home. What'd you say now?
And, Prilosec, what is that? Whatever that
OTC, that's
OTC.
Alcohol. That's when you can drink sour beers.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, so she drinks local beers at this spot, but it's only designed for that.
Okay.
I think no, it was in Brazil, I think. But yeah, it's just because it's Portuguese. But it's super weird, and her guides she picks are Instagram influencers and all this other stuff.
What the fuck?
And it just kind of feels a little disconnected.
Oh, yeah.
And also too, South America has a very how America. So America's America to where light-skinned minorities are seen in a better light than dark-skinned minorities. But at the end of the day, a minority is a minority.
Say minority one more time.
Minority.
Report.
Oh my god. There's two of them in this room.
They're eating the cats.
They just it's like Beetlejuice. They just popped up. You say minority 3 times. Yeah. And then
we're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We'll do better.
Apologize.
Talk to your fucking president about that.
in South America, there's a very hard line for colorism. You know, like the lighter skin you are, the more opportunities you have.
For sure.
So a lot of the places she goes to, outside of Colombia, she actually goes to like the first free city that was like a slave encampment. They fought for their freedom and they gained their freedom, which is a cool little tidbit.
Yeah.
But also, like, that city doesn't have... That was back in, like, the 1600s. That city doesn't have any power or any, like... They have very little power, very little access to running water, all this other stuff.
Right.
It's a slum.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, this is so cool, like, blah, blah, blah. This is the very first free one. And you're like, yeah, but it's like... Instead of talking about how, like... If you're going to not just talk about alcohol and you're going to be bringing up these social issues, then you need to talk about how, like, these people are still walking in to Cartagena... like 3 hours a day to sell their wares.
Still unresolved.
Yeah, and I was like, there's all this stuff. And then
she's over here drinking. She's drinking bottled water in Flint, Michigan.
And it was like she's over in Argentina. Like she goes to Argentina. That's the third episode. She only goes. It's 4 episodes. She goes to 4 different countries. And that's what HBO does, or like the travel channel or Discovery.
Yeah.
Who HBO Warner Discovery owns.
Yeah.
They do 4 episodes, and then if they get a second season, they do 4 more episodes, and that's it.
Okay.
And she goes to Argentina. And then she goes to this guy's bar, and she's like, "Oh yeah, he's been like, you know, he comes from a bar family.
He's got 1 million Instagram followers.
Yeah, and his mother opened up a wine bar, and that's how he got into wine. And he was like started bartending at 13, and he's like in his mid-20s. And they bounce. Oh, I have a friend, and they bounce around all these restaurants, and it's all light skinned, like we are 2 light skinned Latinos, but it's all light skinned Latinos.
Let us preach to the choir.
Yeah, it's all light skinned Latinos doing it. And I'm just like. These are the only people with our opportunity. Yeah. And if you're going to be talking about social issues in an episode, you have to talk about more that kind of stuff too. And it's just the smallest things are profound. And it's just like, man, you have no life experience.
Sounds perfumey.
And then also, I found out that she has an alcohol company. Okay. Remember those Ondas were drinking back in like episode 2? That's her company.
No shit.
But she doesn't know that much about alcohol. So I was just like, how can you be...
That's why she's doing this show.
Someone who pushes this alcohol show, and you don't, or pushes this show about alcohol, and you don't
like someone's funding it.
Alcohol experience. It just sounds really. Either she's playing the part to where she's like, "Hey, I'm going to act like I don't know anything, so people could tell me everything about it."
Okay, would be smart.
Or this and this and that, and you're just kind of like,
yeah,
it's fine. Like it's.
So anyway, what I watched,
if you're looking to. Get into a show that's focused like that, it's probably not the one. So because of that, they have a whole slew of these shows. They have like Tucci in Italy.
I love Tucci in Italy, bro. Stanley Tucci's
so I started
that
watching
boy.
that one. The first one I like.
Pasta gricia.
But I do have a really big problem, which we'll talk about next time, because I'm going to finish it by the next episode, and we'll talk about it. And then I'm going to...
With Tucci?
With Tucci.
Oh, man.
And then I'm going to talk about Eva Longoria Searching for Mexico.
Gotcha.
They came out with one of those. But I'm just going to be watching all of the celebrity travel ones. But my biggest problem with Tucci so far, I've only seen one episode, is that the first episode's about pizza in Napoli, which is really cool. They talk about it.
Yeah.
And they go and have the original pizza,
which
is like a fried calzone. It's a pizza. You get your pizza bread, and then you throw burrata cheese.
Calzone.
And then you get your basil, and then they throw sausage in there, like salsiccia, right? And then she wraps it, and then she fries it for them, gives it to them.
I'm about to hear my zipper go down again.
Yeah, seriously. Talk about sausage.
Yeah.
And then they end up doing that, and they're like, oh, wow, that's really cool, this and this and that. And I'm like, it was funny because I can't remember who was watching it, but I was like, you see that? I was like, there's no tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
And then they go and they start talking about these San Marzanos. And like, oh, San Marzanos, blah, blah, blah. And they also get this buffalo, mozzarella. And like, oh, by the way, buffaloes came from the Middle East in over about 1,000 years ago. And like they like,
they didn't talk about the tomatoes?
And like, cool. And like, okay, well, anyway, these are the best tomatoes in the world, blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, cool, where did tomatoes come from,
Where did tomatoes come from, Italians?
Yeah, because tomatoes didn't get to Europe till like 1525, bro. Where'd they come from? Mesoamerica? And he doesn't say anything about that shit. I'm just like, oh, cool, so you could talk about oxes or buffaloes or like these.
You open the gates. You got to walk through.
You got to cover everything.
You open the gates.
And that's just laziness.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just laziness. Like, dude, if you're going to talk about where these ox come from, why there's oxes in Italy or why there's buffaloes in Italy, then you've got to talk about why the
San
tomatoes.
Marzano, yeah.
Like, you guys are known for your tomatoes, and you guys didn't even originate them. They
Right.
came from Mexico and the Incas. So, like, Mesoamerica, they were growing all through.
Right.
And that's it. And it's just like, and I'm like, so that's the only problem I have so far. But other than that, like, it's great. Sure. Like, he talks about everything. He's super open about stuff. But it's just like, if you're going to be talking about one thing, like the history of one thing, you should be talking about the history of everything. And I don't blame him. I blame his writers.
Right, for sure. He's just there.
He's
looking
just there,
fucking cute as always.
Yeah, looking just handsome and debonair.
Sweet-ass glasses.
Dude, that guy.
We're for sale, Stanley.
Don't shake your Negronis. But but if you end up sponsoring us, fucking shake anything you want. Shake a baby. Shake that. I don't care. Yeah. Jesus. Just pay these bills.
Will murder for cash.
Yeah. Seriously. Anyway.
No, okay. I can totally get you on that one. Yeah. You can open the gates. You got to make sure to pay it.
You got to make sure to do it. Where's your opener at?
Oh.
Quick little break just because we're...
popping a bottle. Ever since I can remember.
Knocking my knife out.
Oh, I think it's on the TV.
I thought I brought it in here, but I guess I didn't.
I might have hung them back up.
You son of a bitch.
Intermission.
We're opening up this Drake's right now. This is going to be, like Cook said earlier, Death of the Sun. Going to be a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout with Amberana wood chips. So, Drake's is actually out in San Leandro. I actually was there a couple of weeks ago. Cool spot. They have a Drake's dealership over in Oakland as well. They call it a dealership, but it is just pretty much a satellite tap room for them. Went there with a buddy of mine named Jacob Morgan. I used to work with this guy. Cool kid. He still goes to Berkeley. But yeah, nice dude. His roommate worked there. We went over there, had a couple beers, and then left. It was a real rainy night, so it was a long time ago. Probably March. Cool spot. You ever in that area? Drake's is a good spot to hit, either whether you're in San Leandro or at their brewery or at the dealership in Oakland. And their brewery is actually, if you hear that, that's the sound of Daniel peeing. Not me pouring the beer. This is not me pouring the beer. Doing the NPR thing where you just hear, like, oh, we met this guy at his restaurant. And then they do, like, glasses and plates and clean your shit up, NPR. Anyway, if you're in the area, San Diego's a good spot to hit. And also, I believe they're not open every single day. Sorry. They're not open every single day. But they're right across from Drake's, and they are called 21st Amendment. I think 21st Amendment's brewery is like right across the parking lot from them. Drake's is weird because it's situated at the back of or the side of a mall, a shopping mall, and then on the other side, across the parking lot and like over a little hump, that's where 21st Amendment is. Anyway, another good spot too. Interesting beers. They did like a watermelon lager that's people used to love in my hometown because it's hot there all the time. And then and they did some other stuff too, some IPAs. It's classic American brewery. Oh, this beer's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
I
think the Tokyo Black. I think I like the Tokyo Black more, but that's hard to beat. The Tokyo Black's hard to beat in general.
Dude, the Tokyo Black is pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Is there a Japanese market around here, or is it just all? I know it's Chinatown, but is there like is Umami Mart? Where's that at?
Umami Mart on Telegraph.
Oh, okay.
Telegraph on 42nd.
Thank you. Sometimes you can have. There's a good spot. I heard they treated their employees horribly, but Tokyo Fish, I think.
Oh, you heard correct.
Yeah. Tokyo Fish up in Berkeley, West Berkeley, in the border of Albany.
Yeah.
Cool spot. You get a 24-pack of Asahi for
Whoa. What the
$19.50.
It tastes like straight up fucking almond joy.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does.
What
Tastes good,
the
huh?
Fuck, that's liquid candy.
Dude, there's like 7 of these in the fridge at work. We should just drink one.
I'm down.
Under the bleachers. And we smoke cigarettes and look at the magazines.
Just like the cool kids.
Just like we used to back in,
Go to my dad's garage.
Dude, I was buddies with this guy named David back in high school. And we were kind of semi in a band together, but not really. He didn't really have his own drum set. He knew how to play drums, but you fucking poor kids hang out with poor kids.
Yeah.
And
Valley music was pretty sick though. The spirit was there. You didn't know how to play well, but you fucking played.
He played, yeah. And in his dad's garage. His dad was a professional photographer.
Sick
And in his dad's garage, he had every Playboy issue ever made except for like 3 or 4 of them. Wow. And he had them all in like cataloged in boxes. And
damn,
like,
that's fucking... Well, if he was a professional photographer,
like, yeah, they were all like situated like December 81 to, January 87, missing April 83. Like he written it all out. Yeah, he was a collector. Yeah, super crazy.
He's got some fucking mental disorder.
Yeah, he had his own studio that he would take family photos at.
I don't want to smell those chairs.
We went and took pictures there. Me and my mom and my brother. And
what's the
we got
zebra
pictures
print?
done. And then we told my buddy David, and my buddy David was like, oh yeah, he shoots porn there. And I was like, no wonder why there's fucking pillows everywhere and no chairs. No, there's like a bearskin rug in the back. It's so
Mommy,
crazy.
what's that streak? It's chocolate, sweetheart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some didn't do their prep. Soup only.
Oh no. Oh, that's all bad. But that's a cool.
Yeah.
Right. A physical spank bank. Hell yeah. Good for David's dad.
So that's what I watched.
Didn't watch. Oh, well, that sounds so thrilling. I can't wait to go check it out.
What about you? Did you watch anything?
Yeah, I watched a few things. Let's see here. I watched a fun one called Wicked Little Letters with Olivia Colman and Jesse. Fucking what's her name? Let me check on that. Edit this part out, please. Jesse Buckley. Irish lady.
Gotta get up.
Stretching legs.
I just got a cramp.
You guys can't see it, but he's blowing his back out over here. So I watched this movie called Wicked Little Letters on Netflix.
I hope you needed a paint job.
Not the blue wall. We just color coordinated. You noticed Shannon did the floors in here and the painting in here, dude.
No way.
Yeah, she's really good at this handy stuff.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, this cramp is not going away.
Do you need to roll it out, bro? There's a roller right behind you. You're in the gym part of the fucking room. I'm in the office part.
I don't understand that. It's not going away. It's just like super tight right now.
Rub it out, bro. Yeah.
Jink.
Smoking my cigarette, just staring at him.
Slow.
Rub it a little slower. Yeah. Get in there. 2 hands. Don't be shy. Yeah, spread them apart. Show me the cracks and the crevasses. We're sorry. So anyway, I watched this movie called Wicked Little Letters. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Just go check it out. It's fun. It's a light watch. Very cheeky. Olivia Colman. If you watch Fleabag, she was the stepmom. She plays a good fucking dick. Like you love to hate her. And then Jessie Buckley, she plays like a mom who ends up on the other side of this thing. Ends up being like a court case.
Is that a food movie?
No, it's just a regular ass movie. I'm just talking about the shit that I be watching, bro. I don't care. But if you do want food related, I did watch this show called Midnight Diner. You ever watch that on Netflix?
No, I wanted to though. That's a Japanese one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like in the izakaya. He's open over like what's it? In the intro of the show, he talks about it. He's like, I open from midnight to 7 a.m. and whoever wanders in, he tries to make whatever he wants or whatever's on the menu is what they get. Or if he has ingredients, he'll make it for whatever they ask for.
Yeah.
And it's like all tied into like the food's tied into an emotional situation that they all had in their lives, and it's really cool. It's just telenovela. It's a soap opera. But based on food and in Japan, it's really cool. It's fun.
I've been wanting to watch that really bad.
Dude, it's fun. It's a good like slap it on, get ready for bed type deal.
Oh, nice.
And they're just like I think like 45 hour long, 30 minutes maybe.
Slapping it while getting ready for bed?
Slap it while getting ready for bed, brother.
I'm going to have to do this the rest of this standing up.
Yeah, Midnight Diner is pretty sick though. Damn, really?
Yeah.
Check it out, dude.
Oh, no, I'm good.
I can stand the whole thing up.
Oh, you going to stand too?
I could fucking stand, bro. Hey, stand for something or fall for anything, right? Here, you get the other side. The lever.
Oh, damn. Okay, now I know how Rich Eisen feels.
I'll stand by you.
There we go.
I'll stand by you.
I can't believe I have a cramp right now. It's so crazy. Well, I'm probably
running
just
all fucking day,
running
dude.
all day.
That's just fine. It's a sit-stand situation. Midnight Diner was fucking cool. something I've been watching for a while. And then one thing I wanted to talk about.
Is it really long?
Not really, no. It's all episodic.
Mm-hmm.
There's no arching story over the season. It's just every new situation comes up every day, every episode, which is fun.
That's cool.
So you don't have to invest too much time in it.
That's what I'm all about.
But I talk a lot about Chef's Table, and I notice how many people don't know about this series on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just wanted to bring it to anyone's attention who may not know it. Highly recommend it. Talks about the ethos behind a lot of restaurants and how they started, and like usually it's like 3 Michelin plus or even 1, but it's just like cool backstories.
Yeah.
But it shows like the dedicated passion and let's be real, a little bit of that autistic spectrum as well about how the chef.
Or so hyper-focused on something.
Yeah, it's become so hyper-focused that they just disregard their fucking loved ones and forget about everything except for, let me just not worry about my actual problems, but let me find out how to fry this fish to the perfect consistency all the time.
Yeah.
Let's be real. That's really what all that shit is. Easier to deal with that shit than it is to deal with your own problems. Anyway, Chef's Table's fucking awesome. And then they also have a barbecue edition of it.
Oh, yeah, Chef's Table Barbecue. I've seen all those.
Yeah, so that's what actually spurred? What's the word? Sparked my and Shan's barbecue road trip.
Oh.
That's why we went to the Carolinas. We went to go visit Rodney Scott's.
Okay.
Rodney Scott's. But he does the whole pig, the whole hog barbecue. Uh-huh. He was James Beard, best chef for the Southeast, the second ever grill master to win that award.
Oh, damn.
So I was like, bro, let's hop on a plane, let's get in a car, and let's go eat this motherfucker's barbecue. It's all right. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But now I understand why they say Californians don't know how to barbecue.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Fiskey yet, which we should definitely.
We should hit, yeah. Well, now maybe we could do. We'll have to do it one day to where I go early and then I just take it to work and we just eat.
Yeah.
So remember we did it to James. James is like, "Oh yeah, it's cool. Let's go." He's like, "I've been there a few times." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, so nonchalant." Like,
no, they let me in the back door.
Yeah, he like lives around the corner.
They let me in the back door all the time.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, they already have my plate ready."
They're like, "Hey James, how are you?"
Let's go in and ask for the James.
Let me get the James special.
Oh, brisket.
Damn.
But no, he was like, "Oh, I've been there a few times." I'm like, "Oh, they rub it in."
Yeah,
right
thanks, dude. I'm sorry I didn't get to wait
Louise.
3 hours in line.
Yeah, seriously. No, I'll have to get there one day and just like get in at 10 and then order and then just head to the tasting room and then you just take your lunch real fast.
I'm in, bro. I'm super.
But yeah, I'm trying to eat that. But he's supposedly opening up a second look. They're opening up a second location in San Francisco.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, I just saw the interview with them. They seem pretty chill. And the whole infusion is Indonesian.
Yeah, they're Indonesians, Texas.
And Texas.
Barbecue.
I mean, that sounds like
infusion.
a bomb-ass infusion. Yeah.
Well, I guess there's Texas is like a really big movement as far as fusion barbecue goes.
There's you saw the guys?
Southeast Asian and like Filipino and Indonesian dudes.
There's another team that during COVID they wanted to tackle barbecue. It was like 4 dudes.
And they all went to different... I think I saw that too. Yeah.
Oh, who were those guys? Fuck.
Yeah, but no, yeah, they but they're not the only ones. There's like Vietnamese dudes doing it. There's like I watched that show on PBS. It has that God dang, what is her name? It's like Cookie Lee. No, what is it? I can't remember her name, but it's
Cooksy?
Lucky Chow is the name of the show.
Okay.
And she runs around and she tries different places that are owned and operated by Asian people.
Uh-huh.
And she went to Texas and she hit like 4 spots and 3 of them were barbecue and they're all Asian fusion.
Oh shit.
Barbecue. And I was like, damn, we gotta go to Texas. But yeah, Lucky Chow is an interesting show. Very good on PBS. For support your local PBS station. There is a massive fire that happened in Fresno, outside of Fresno, in the foothills and in the mountains. And actually, the PBS station there lost their antenna, their whole service station there. So PBS was only running in the Central Valley via the internet. So they actually weren't broadcasting.
Damn.
So they just got Bakersfield back online. I know this because my father-in-law is actually their head engineer.
Oh,
he
shit.
runs like that station and runs everything for Central Valley.
Damn.
And so if you can, throw them a little extra love. I know that KQED is doing their month-long fundraiser. And, you know, these guys they do live a lot off of viewer funds. But if the bigger cities, it's much easier for them to get funding. Like we said earlier, like episode 2 or episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 2, I think. It is much easier for them to get funding. So if you can donate to a smaller metro area, like Fresno or like someone else who's smaller and has their own PBS and services a large part because the Valley PBS services like I think Stockton down to Bakersfield.
Damn.
So like it's a big area to where KQED is like North Bay, the Bay proper, down to Santa Cruz.
Okay.
So it's a pretty big area as well.
So no Channel 18 in?
Yeah, there's no Channel 18 for a while. They just got Bakersfield up and running, but they're like dealing with insurance. Insurance is like, well, what do you mean it burnt down? And you know how insurance is, man. It's like,
hey, what if we don't want to pay you?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you missed you were 2 days late in this phone payment back in 1986. And it's like, well, we've been fine since then. So shit like that. So there have been, he's been working like 12, 14, 16-hour days.
God.
So anytime I feel like I work too hard in a day, I think about my father-in-law. I'm like, no, that dude's probably he probably got to work at 6 a.m. He's probably still working at 8 p.m. So I'm not even worried about it.
Brutal.
But if you have a chance, look into it. Support in general. Anyway, you were talking about those 4 dudes.
Yeah, I forgot. Insert name here when you find it.
We always talk about it next time too.
Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, that's the stuff that I've been watching. Just wanted to bring some awareness to Chef's Table here.
Dude, that one Chef's Table with the Spanish dessert maker. Did you seen that one?
Which one's that?
It's this dude, and like his brother runs the restaurant, but he runs he's a
pollo.
patisserie, and they're like a 3 Michelin star spot or something like that.
Yeah.
And he does these crazy ass dessert concepts, and that
shit.
dude is nuts. Yeah, when you guys get there, like let me know. But that dude's crazy, crazy.
Hell yeah, I'm watching that shit.
Yeah, no, that's a good show. I watched the first 2 seasons, and then I'd watch a show here and there. Because it's kind of stressful, too. Because you want these guys to succeed, and you can see the stress in their face when they're really talking about how passionate they are about it. But then also, too, you're like, man, your kids don't even know what you look like.
Yeah, for real. It's fucking
But it's a good
crazy.
show.
It's
and then, it's a good show. And then, but I got to watch that Midnight Diner.
Yeah, check it out.
Midnight Diner's one. And then there's a ton of Japanese, like, cooking shows on that, like, Japanese or J-dramas that are cooking shows.
Yeah,
they're cooking focused.
They know their market.
Yeah, they're all about restaurants.
Dude,
late night diners. I gotta check them more. I got wrapped up in my early 20s. I was wrapped up in J dramas. Like I watched a ton of Japanese dramas.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
The war ones and stuff.
my buddy who was a lot of. I rarely ever watched like the old ones, like the ones that were based on like times that happened during the samurai, like Shinsengumi and all those things.
You haven't watched Shogun yet on Hulu? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I haven't watched Shogun yet on Hulu. I saw the original one, but I haven't seen the new one yet.
It's fantastic.
But I definitely would like to try it. I'm one of those people who it helps because I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So waiting for something week to week, I will not end up finishing it.
I think it's complete.
So it's done now. So like I was waiting for it to get done so I could like sit down and kind of like try to power through it.
I see.
Like 2 episodes a day, every single day for like a week.
Okay.
So I do like having something to look forward to when they release stuff weekly, but
it's a pain in the ass.
I'm so busy and like you never really have time when you have 2 little ones running around.
For sure.
So like shows are easy to get lost in
fall behind.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, other than that, I ate at Lovely's yesterday, which is fantastic. It's a burger joint.
Oh yeah, it's in 2 Pictures, right?
What's that?
2 Pictures Brewing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, that place is awesome too. They have like couches. It looks super cool. It's a very nice space. They have an outside space. It's like Lovely's is like it's like a multimedia building. It's like it's like in the center's a shipping container. What looks like a walk-in. They fit it out to be a walk-in or a hood, and then the front part's like wood and stone, and the back just looks like wood. And I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But the food is fantastic. We got the fish fillet, which was like, think of like a McDonald's plus. It's like a fish fillet plus, like the buns and the salad and everything, and that was good. But the fillet itself, very similar in flavor and texture.
Oh, nice.
So, which was good. I actually like that. And then the burger, is pretty good. It's like a smash burger too, like Lana's or Smish Smash, who taught Lana's. And it's almost on that same level. For some reason, Smish Smash just tastes better to me. I don't know why. They keep it pretty simple.
Yeah.
But this place is pretty good too. I highly recommend it. I know it's super popular too, so.
Well, they were named, was it last year or the year before? They were named like Best Burger Spot in the Bay.
Oh, that makes sense.
By KQED, I think.
Oh, okay.
So like that got them a ton of clout.
Dude, that line's pretty savage.
Yeah.
Pretty savage.
And then,
but I like, it's like old school, like orange neon trays and yellow white wrapped paper. I was like, this is cool. This reminds me of, there's a place in Selma called Wilkins. I don't know if you've ever been there.
No, I never have.
It's right off 2nd Street. Like, if you go off 2nd Street and just keep going toward into town, it's like a dude holding a fucking cheeseburger and a pint of root beer.
Oh, nice.
And then, but it's just like that classic burger joint too, which is pretty fucking
I like those classic style burger joints.
Dude, they're good.
Tulare has one called Wimpy's.
Wimpy's.
And then you go in there and it's like...
Really has the wagon.
Yeah, Chuck Wagon.
Chuck Wagon, yeah.
That's Sanger.
That's Sanger. That's Sanger.
Yeah,
that's Sanger.
Sanger is Chuck Wagon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, classic little just burger spots like that. It's funny because I was actually at Two Pitchers and my buddies, I have with two buddies, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get burgers. You want one?" I was like, "No, I'm good." And they brought it back, and I was like, "Fuck, I should have got one."
You're like, "Oh, it's fire."
But no, they said they really liked it, and then they also have a vegan burger
vegan
too.
option, and then they have even chips and fish and chips.
Yeah.
My friend, she works for Caviar Co. And she brought a couple of little tins of some Kaluga and or just the other standard one.
Nice.
And we got the corn fritters, dude. Dipped it in the ranch. Dollop of some of that Kaluga. Fuck me up, bro. That shit was so good. I was like, ooh.
You're a whore for caviar.
Bro, I don't even mean to be. I just am. I just am.
Like it's out of my pay range.
When I told somebody the other day that I didn't realize that caviar must have had a lot of fiber, and they're like, "Wow, what a problem to have."
I was like,
sorry.
Oh,
bro.
did you take a shit in your golden toilet? You fucking asshole.
Yeah, the Trump Tower.
Yeah, geez Louise. What a problem to have.
I was like, I guess I didn't realize how pretentious that sounded until I said.
Oh, you know what's the worst? The caviar shits, bro. You just eat too much caviar.
A bunch of fucking chefs, they're like, "Shut up, bitch." And I was like, "All right,
yeah."
Fair enough. Good point. But yeah, other than that, that's it.
I'd be laying eggs left and right.
Cool week. Oh boy, was I! I was a sturgeon myself that week.
Hilarious.
But yeah.
Right. Well, that's cool, man. No, I got to go back there. They good. The beer spot's good. Too. So like, we should go get a pitcher of beer and fucking hang out and just get some burgers and fucking chill.
Let me know. You let me know.
Do it. All right, so we're gonna talk about the news.
In the news this week.
News that's happening around the Bay.
We start with the good news first. A lot of good things happened. Oakland needs some love, you know.
Yeah. We'll talk the good stuff first.
Oakland needed some love, and I'm glad they got them. They got some from Food and Wine as well. Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the fuck. Popolka?
Popolka? I think, yeah.
Popolka? Look at us. We're natural journalists.
It's fine. You said that's down the street from here, though, right?
Yeah, it's on 8th. Or it's on Washington, and it's literally across the street from the video game store and the Swan Market.
Oh! It's on Washington, just south of 10th?
Exactly.
Okay. I remember that place was opening.
Yeah, and they were doing the crowdfunding for investors, and I was like, that sounds like a terrible investment.
Yeah.
Probably still is. I'm sorry to say that, but Popolka, it's Salvadorian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but they were voted one of the best in the United States, and then Bertle voted also, best in the...
Yeah, best new restaurant.
Best new restaurant.
It was them, and I think in California. I think it was them and Four Kings over in...
Kings.
Which we spoke about. Episode 4?
Yeah, early on.
3 or 4. Daniel went there for his birthday.
It was my birthday.
Hell yeah.
It was my birthday.
And, But no, Burdell Oak opened up last year, previous year before, maybe.
Got James Beard.
Yeah, James Beard. He got James Beard nominated.
Pretty sick. Came from True Laurel, which is Lazy Bear. Mm-hmm. David Barsley's groups. Restaurant
and then... Soul Food, right? Modern Soul Food.
Soul Food, yeah.
So it's good. I think we talked about him in the Michelin Star episode too.
Yeah.
But good to see him get that award or that noted.
Fuck yeah! Bring some love.
Get noticed, and then also with Four Kings as well, because I saw those pictures. If you haven't seen the pictures, I'm gonna do a Instagram. You could save your stories into groups. I'll do a group where it's like places we've eaten.
That's
so I'll
pretty
do
cool.
that and Comey and some other ones. That,
for sure.
That'd
be great.
It's a random Taco Bell run I do at 4 a.m. in the morning. My wife not knowing. Now she does.
Yeah. She's like, son of a bitch. Thought you were just fucking over there.
Over broke all the fucking time. How many?
I have a problem.
How many beef crunch wraps can you fucking? Wow. I'll follow chapter 11, baby.
Baby.
My beef crunch wrap supreme.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of, but yeah, no, it's good news for them. Bordello, congratulations, Four Kings as well. Super happy for you guys. Now on to not so light of a note. We have some dour news about one of our favorite places to go hang out, Kontiki in Oakland. They are supposedly. I talked to Mike about it. Mike's like, "Well, it's not confirmed that they're closing."
Bro, you read the article.
But everyone, they're closing.
You read the article.
Yeah,
they're like, we can't fucking do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's just bad management in general because they had another restaurant too that I think they closed as well.
Palmetto.
Palmetto, yeah.
So I got a little history here if you go to.
No, yeah, go for it.
They had Palmetto and Kontiki Room. They closed October 29th, 2023. So it's only been a year since that closure. I mean, the article is literally like called "We Can't Stay Open: Why a Hit Oakland Bar is on the Verge of Closure." And it says the prospects of staying open are getting worse every week, says Matt Reagan, who's one of the co-owners of Kontiki, with, what was that? Chris Avialatos? I know that part.
It's staying in.
Avialatos. I don't even know how to say this name. At this point, we haven't made the decision to close, but we can't stay open, is what they're saying.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna.
And I'm like, bro, okay, that's pretty set. In my book, that sounds like it's a bunch of agreed upon.
Yeah.
I mean, it says that utilities increased 40% in the last 3 years. Food costs is up 30%. The cost of beef for their $19 cheeseburger went up another 90 cents a pound. And they're like, well, we can't sell a $35 cheeseburger. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
The cheeseburger is a little pricey too.
Yeah, it's a little pricey. It's small too. It's like, and it's hard to compete with like Shake Shack. And if it's like literally the same size, it's good.
Yeah, it's a good burger. It's solid.
It's fucking, and their French fries are killer. They do the shoestrings.
Dude, they got good food. They got good drinks. It's just unfortunate that it's just overhead that's so high,
dude. Especially down here. Yeah, and it's fucked up too because nobody even comes here anymore because they were dependent on foot traffic from businesses. But this place has gone so far down the shitter. Like, it's not. I mean, we grew up in Fresno, so I'm like, whatever. I can walk these streets. I don't feel safe. I'm desensitized, but like. I mean, it's not the greatest night scene that it used to be. Pre-COVID, this thing was popping, dude. It was always people out and about. But, again, COVID really wiped that whole scene out. I mean, especially with people working from home and things like that.
And the bounce back has been really slow.
Oh, it's so slow.
That COVID bounce back has just not happened
I don't see this happening for another at least 10 years.
Oh, yeah, dude. They need to find another industry to actually bring people in.
Exactly. And that's what happens when you become dependent on one form of income, one industry, and then that's how you start the whole fucking doom loop process.
Yeah. No, that's too bad, though. But yeah, no, they said slated for the end. I think people were thinking they're going to close at the end of the month, which is September. So if you're in the area and it hasn't, the end of September, hit them up, let them know. I think we had some coworkers that tried to go like last Sunday or Sunday before and they were closed and they were always open on a Sunday. So it's like a mainstay for Sundays.
They also took a day off randomly because they were too busy. And I was like, bro, how are you going to say you're about to close? And then they're like, too busy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, make up your fucking mind.
Yeah. And that's a tactic that some places use as well. You see them mostly in furniture stores. But
going out of business.
Some restaurants would be like, hey, we might close. There's a Coney Island in Fresno that was like, hey, we're going to close every week. We've been here for this and this and that. And then they had an outpouring of so much support over 2 or 3 months. They're like, hey, we're going to give it another shot. And everyone's like, yay. And they ended up closing a year later because then people just stopped going.
It's like restaurant nightmares.
So you might be a little tack hey, we
come in now, get your zombie half price.
And people were just fucking Jesus.
Mai Tai 75% off.
Yeah, so you'll get people just coming in and then just supporting just because they don't want to see a place close, but it's writings on the wall for saying, hey, we might close because I'm glad they didn't talk about pay. But that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
But I think they know better. But saying, hey, everything costs more.
Yeah, they mentioned
electricity is going up, all this other stuff. Rent's probably going to go up at some point too. So it's just all these things contributing factors.
That's the thing, bro. It's just people want more money for rent and shit, and just bro, why? It's a tough time.
Yeah,
everybody just needs to fucking pump the brakes.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's late stage capitalism shit.
Yeah, and then also too, it's just people had so many breaks during COVID, rent breaks. People were just I got to make my money back somehow.
Right,
so they're just raising the price on everything.
Right,
it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, and they had the outside during COVID, which was cool, and they had to take that down because they had to pay for it.
Yeah,
if you wanted to keep it up.
Oh yeah, you had to get a permit. You had to get it permitted or some shit, right?
Yeah. But through the city, and you had to pay for the extra space, and then it's just I don't know. It was pretty sketchy when it was out there too, because people would sleep in it.
Yeah.
And then you had to build a partridge with the fencing, and it was just too much. So they just ended up tearing it all fucking down.
Dude, we had someone set up camp in one when I was during post-COVID. Well, we're still suffering effects of COVID.
Yeah.
And then when I was working at this beer spot, and we had a couple different tap rooms, but one of ours had an outside area.
Oh shit.
And some dude like set up a tent. And like, dude, he set up a tent. He set up like cardboard rooms.
Hell yeah.
He had like a 3-bedroom. He was living in this 20-foot thing, bigger than no rent.
Fuck yeah.
But
he got pictures of his family up in there.
We ended up having to get him. I was like, hey, dude, like, this is space that we paved to use.
Right.
Like, you have to leave. He ended up leaving. I was wrapping up his stuff, and I moved to one of the cardboard rooms, and there was like a pickle jar full of poop. The dude, I was like, damn, I think I just stumbled into this guy's bathroom.
No.
Yeah, he like had sectioned off his house, like his living room.
That's pretty
his
fucking
like sleeping
sick,
room.
bro.
I was like, damn, dude, this guy's got it all figured out.
A pickle jar.
It reminded me full of that. It reminded me of that. No one wanted to touch it, so I got to put on a glove and grab it. And just
Oh, you're hella down, bro.
I'm like, damn, dude, like, come on, guys, it's just a little bit of E. coli. If I can calm down. And geez, we've all had it.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, if you haven't, you will.
Make sure to wipe, folks.
Yeah, and then, but it reminded me of that In Living Color, this old box when the unhoused dude, and he was telling people how to add an addition to his refrigerator box. He was adding a bathroom. It was just a smaller line. It was a washing machine box. He glued it onto his refrigerator box. Oh,
was it
man.
David Wayne's?
It was David Wayne's.
Wayne's
Yeah.
Oh,
fuck, dude.
Bro, did you see
show.
Did you see Club Shay Shay's interview with
Marlon?
With Marlon?
It's on my listen to list.
It's pretty good. But he talks about all his brothers doing all that stuff. And I was like, dude, that's pretty
crazy.
Cool.
Like, dude, I've always loved Keanu Ivory Wayans and the Wayans brothers, dude. So funny.
Damon Wayans is always one of my favorite comedians. That motherfucker is fun. Major Payne was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Major Payne is phenomenal. I'm gonna get you, sucker. There's so many ones.
Choo choo. That shit was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely reads like they're gonna close.
It's inevitable. Like once you say, "Hey, we might close," or "There's no way we can stay open," it's like what they're gonna do is gonna close out of the blue, and then probably try to take all their stuff in with them, and then they don't try to get one of those things.
Well, I mean, Missouri Lounge is opening. It's this bar.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the one in
it's like
West Oakland.
No, it's like North Oakland. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a weird area. It's like in between Emeryville, Berkeley, and Oakland. That's where I spent.
Oh yeah.
When I initially came to the Bay Area, or actually when I got out of school, that's where I stayed. I stayed on Stanford and San Pablo. So it's like literally on the border.
Oh yeah, that's West Berkeley. It's right by the Kaiser.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's West Berkeley for sure. Sorry, I misspoke.
No, it's fine. It's just it's
I'm
very
sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We'll do better next time.
We'd like to apologize.
It's like right in there, the gas kill, which is mentioned in a Mr. Fab song.
Oh yeah.
yeah. But it's it was an interesting neighborhood going into 10 years ago, and seeing the way that the industrial part's grown since, and every time I pass by now, I'm like, damn, this place has hella changed. But yeah.
When are they supposed to open?
Sometime next month, I believe. I think the end of next month. They have a poster up on their door that says we're going to be opening up in September sometime, because everyone keeps asking, when are you guys opening? They did a soft run. When
I moved into Berkeley in 21, they were like, we'll be open soon, and they'd been, I think they're like 2 or 3 years into.
I thought they totally went under. I thought Kaiser just bought the space.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised.
I think it was like they had been working on it like 2 or 3 years already.
Yeah.
But that space is weird because there's the bar on the bottom, and then there's apartments on top.
Yeah.
And the apartments are extremely low income.
Imagine living there.
And I was like, I'm like, dude, they have to be working a deal out with those people. Or we're going to be open at this time or this and that. But I've waited for that spot, and they had a really nice mural painted on the wall, in the window, or on the wall. And then I drove by one day and it had been completely spray painted over and almost like graffitied. And I'm just like, man, this place is never going to open, dude.
Nah, yeah.
And then,
I'm surprised, dude.
You go to Prize Fighter and last time I went to Prize Fighter, one of the bartenders had a Missouri Lounge shirt. I'm like, dude, I'm waiting for the place to open. He goes, I got me too. And I was like, fuck, it's never going to open, bro. It's never going to open. But yeah, I'm glad they're going to hopefully open.
So I used to cook down the street. That's where I started cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Literally the block over is a place called Paisan. And that place was cool, and Long Branch eventually later on in my life. But we'd always go to the Miz for pro shift, and God, it was just pure debauchery. But it had one of the most interesting crowds, right? Because you get like this runoff from Berkeley, Oakland, Emeryville. So you got these yuppies, you got these old heads, you got all these fucking brilliant people. And I mean, like, again, the guy that used to work pizza station with me, he was like 50 something years old, but would do linear algebra and semolina flour and be like, see, look, this is the theory. But we'd all go grab a pint afterwards. So it was like a cool mashup in that sense. But I mean, one of the last times I frequented, it was just all bros, and I was just like, I'm cool. It smells like vomit.
Bros.
Yeah,
the Berkeley Bros.
It was cool because it was like vomit, and then like dudes wearing like leather and like old hats, and you're like, where'd you come from, man? They're like, oh, I've been around everywhere, and it's just like, oh, this is cool. And then you can go out back and smoke cigarettes, which you could still do apparently. My buddy went to the soft opening. He was like, yeah, we could still smoke in the back, and I was like, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we gotta check it out. When they open, we'll go.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah.
I believe Nora is the manager there still. Shout out to Nora. Get a lot of shift beers there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised you stayed that long, honestly. I would imagine it would be a nightmare to work there. But
for sure.
Whatever. It's the culture. It's a cool place regardless. They had a pool table. This place was awesome. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
They had a dance night.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
All right. We'll have to check it out for sure.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Right now.
Fuck this podcast.
We're going to Missouri Lounge.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Other news, Red Bay, local coffee roaster, is filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They said they lost $850,000 from January of this year to July of this year. Yeah, most of it. Well, they're still being sued. They're still being.
They haven't even figured out how many wage thefts they've committed.
Seriously. That place has always been kind of dicey in general. Like coming from jumping into the coffee world and like getting the sense of the Bay Area scene for coffee and stuff.
Yeah,
those guys don't have the greatest reputation as far as treating their employees well.
Yeah.
But I hope they figure it out. It's always a bummer to see someone like who has that many locations in a coffee company that actually is socially conscious to.
Was that the one?
No, failing.
Which one are they? What's their message that they tied behind it? Equator is like the rainforest, right?
Equator's the rainforest.
What corporate approach?
Red Bay is like minority owned. I think that's their biggest flagship.
It's
like, hey, we're like black owned and operated.
Great.
Which is fine if that's the only thing you're pushing, but also
go drink Rasa coffee if you're gonna do that, bro. That shit's good.
Yeah, Rasa coffee is fucking sick.
It's the home
that
right there.
Hella bomb.
Shout out Rasa.
And then, but there is like that. And that's the hard thing about being a minority owner in general is like you get wrapped up in that. Then you have, hey, I'm a minority. I am a minority owner. I'm a BIPOC owner.
Yeah.
And in other parts of the country, I think it works a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Bay Area, especially San Francisco Bay Area, where we're so socially conscious and so socially minded, and we're constantly like things. Our language changes here so quickly.
Yeah.
Like I say unhoused in other parts of California, and they're like, "Oh, you mean homeless people?"
Right.
So like, there's like,
but you mean an hour inward?
Yeah.
You cross those hills,
dude. I've said when I first moved up over here, I said homeless, and someone said, "You mean unhoused?"
How dare you?
Yeah, homeless.
We're sorry.
It's the same word, just means something different.
You said house.
Yeah.
What if they lived in a home?
Yeah. Yeah. What if it's not a house? It's a home. Yeah.
Well, where's Larry David when we need him?
Yeah, seriously. And so it's just our vernacular, our like Zapatos is constantly changing all the time. Our like vocabulary is evolving and updating almost monthly. So and also our focus on social issues in general.
Yeah.
So like being minority owned or female owned or something was a really big bold or a banner thing to rely on a decade ago up here. Yeah. It's like it still carries some weight when you're in other parts of the country, but here it's just like, oh cool, you and like 10 other spots on the street
for sure.
are minority or female owned, so you can't really like,
is this shit good or not?
Just hang. Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Is this shit good or not?
And also too, it's just like they expanded too quickly. Like they just had way too much stuff, and
typical.
They were you know, they're in really high rent places. Like, not just their spot's probably the lowest spot, like their flagship, but they're also in the Ferry Building. In San Francisco. They just opened up a brand new spot in like South Berkeley. Like they're expanding.
Not for long.
Yeah, so it's just like one of these things that like it's just.
I don't know, man. I don't have sympathy for them. They're getting sued for a reason.
Yeah, they're getting sued for a reason. So yeah, so it's just one of those things that it is shitty. But then again, you kind of reap what you sow. So it's one of those things.
I agree.
So, especially when it is like, we come from a spot where there's really not, the only minority-owned places are going to be south of a certain street. Yeah. And they're all going to be like taquerias or like, you know, a boot, you know, hermanos, freaking, boot emporium. You know, stuff like that. Pouring. Yeah, so that's the only like.
Come to my furniture stores. We're closing soon.
North of a certain spot, it's going to be all white owned. So it's like
price is so good, you have to say close.
Yeah. It tinges a little bit when they're like, "Hey, this spot is closing," or "This spot they're not closing." Chapter 11. So hopefully they get their shit together, but also like
reconsolidation of assets.
They do better running business and also treating their people better as well.
And we know they're not.
Yeah, and then on a. Sadder note, Michel Girard passed away. He was a French chef. What? He actually opened up a restaurant in 1974. I don't speak French, so this is going to be horribly said. Le Pré de Eugene, I think. And it was actually one of the first, I think, triple Michelin-starred spots.
Damn. Throwbacks.
Every year he'd get an extra star. He got 1 star, then he got the 2nd star, and then he got a 3rd star 3 years in a row.
Damn.
But he was kind of a revolutionary French chef. He focused on nouveau cuisine, 70s. And it was really just in the 70s, yeah. And it would there was a traditional way to make French food, and it was like these big dishes like smothered in sauces, like escoffier style.
Yeah.
And he really turned away from that and did like young, like lot less heavily fatty foods. He still wanted things to have flavor, but he knew, he had said like it can have flavor and still not kill you by the time you're 35. You can eat all this really good food and it not be, you know, killing your heart. Like you could be doing these things. So like people, in reading a couple different articles about, because I'd heard of him about him before, so I did a little bit of research just to kind of talk about him here. But that ratatouille style dish that Remy makes at the end of Ratatouille, that's actually based on exactly his style of ratatouille. Because ratatouille is like a vegetable dish just like smothered in sauce. Right. But it's just like, oh, hey, you have these really nicely cooked vegetables with a light sauce, and you still get all that flavor, and it's healthier for you. So it's just one of those like, hey, we could rethink this cooking and completely change it on its head and just revolutionize, you know, the way we eat, and we could maybe be healthier for it. But he just passed away at like 91. He passed away like last week or the week before. Damn. So RIP, you know, you did influence a whole, you know, generation of chefs. So big loss for the community in general.
Damn, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it is around that time when the age group for all those people.
All those 70s and 80s revolutionaries. It's that time.
Damn,
like
that's
they're
crazy.
all in their 80s. They're all in their 70s and 80s now. So it's just those dudes who are like the guys who were, you know, setting up, you know, these new directions for food and alcohol and all these other things. And they're you know, it's time to clock out. That's the way it goes.
Damn, that's a good way to put it.
You know, thanks for all the hard work.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks, dude. Nouveau cuisine, bro. I think my understanding of that is like Michel Roux and Michel Bras. Mm-hmm. Those are the two guys that I don't know where they fall, but he was the pioneer of it all. So one of the pioneers of it all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy to think that's the end of that era.
Yeah, right.
That's fucking weird.
I think he's like the last one of that one too. He kind of started it, and like everyone, I think everyone who followed in his footsteps, like in his time period, you know, passed away. So he's like one of the last ones.
Damn, dude, it sucks.
Yeah.
RP to the legends.
That's the way it goes, man.
That's how it is how it goes.
Yeah.
Trying to lower everyone's cholesterol.
How's your beer?
Oh, it's hot. It's like a hot chocolate bar.
I know, there's
Like you melted almond joy and threw it into a glass.
Dude, it's really good.
That shit is rich.
Usually with Drake's, they're like every other California brewery. They kind of lean towards IPAs. But when they do like a stout or like their biggest one, the one that put them on the map is the Denogonizer. It's like their
Excuse me?
Denogonizer.
Okay, bless you.
They ended up it's like a 10% like IPA, double IPA, which
So
they
I told her too. I said, I'm going to denogonize you, girl.
Jesus Christ. 10% double IPA, and then people call those triple IPAs. There's actually technically no category of triple IPAs. It's either like IPA or double IPA / Imperial IPA.
Imperial.
So, but whatever. People don't care. It's all marketing. And they just kind of put them on the map. But they make some pretty good porters and stouts, and they definitely are showcasing it here. This beer is really fucking good.
It's pretty fucking tasty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink it all the time, but this I actually enjoy.
I wouldn't drink it. Pause.
All the time?
Pause.
I wouldn't seek it out.
That's all we have, folks.
I wouldn't drink it.
Anyway,
next week on.
This fucking guy. Anyway, for
mind you, it's like 100 degrees in my room because you got two fucking sweaty Mexicans and a goddamn PC running at full. And I'm just like...
It is moist.
It's a gym too, bro. You're standing on the gym set.
No man's land. It's moist.
This is good for bacterial growth. It's gonna be like the fermentation tanks.
About yeast.
I'm about to buzz.
I'm about to explode. It's all over the place.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Local Drunks Podcast.
That's a good spot to end it. Yeah. Thanks for listening to Local Drunks Pod. I am Saul.
I'm Daniel,
and you can find us on Instagram or YouTube. Instagram's at Local Drunks Pod. And YouTube is going to be...
You're supposed to be the good one.
Local Drunks Podcast.
We can't both be terrible at this.
Local Drunks Podcast. We'll have some more stuff up there. I think we only have our podcast stuff up there. But I swear to God, I will get stuff edited this weekend.
Gmail.com.
Gmail.com is localdrunkspod@gmail.com.
And then, of course, Patreon, if you want to sign up for our subscription. Donate some money for us to go to these places that we talk about that we... Boy, do we wish we can go visit one of these days. Yeah, or just more often in general. Yeah. But yeah, $5 a month. And I'm just going to just start throwing unedited shit up there. So I'll sell you my socks.
If you ever hear a weird cut or be like, hey, that's for the Patreon, after, the Patreon will have all of those. Because sometimes we go off on tangents.
Sometimes.
Ja boys have ADD.
I think this whole fucking podcast is a goddamn tangent.
Yeah. We were going to talk about... Food Network today.
No, that's next time.
No, that's not. Yeah, we're gonna try to talk about celebrity chefs and TV shows and all this other shit. But we're like, you know what? I think there's enough. Let's talk about this week. Yeah, seriously. So next, we'll talk about it next week. But we also need to do a little bit of research for that as well. Yeah, but and your boy. Yeah, then we'll talk about your boy Closing Mod. He's also a celebrity chef as well. What's his name? The Australian dude.
Australian.
Yeah.
Mod Pizza?
I sent you that picture of... Oh, dude, did you see the Shuggy's Trash Pies got, like, nominated in one of the best restaurants, like, last year or whatever like that, too?
Yeah.
Dude, I had a buddy who worked there, and I never went. And
no way.
I think she moved to New York, and she was always telling me, like, hey, come to Shuggy's.
No way.
We have to go to Shuggy's at some point,
I'm down. That place is pretty cool. I also want to go to that brunch spot that won a Michelin star, if we can ever get in.
Oh, yeah. What's it called?
I fucking know.
Episode 4, folks. Michelin star talk.
Yeah.
That's surprising. I know.
We'll get there.
I know our episode topics better than I know my kids. No, I listen to these episodes like 5 times. Yeah, I listen to them like usually the next day, and then I start editing them the following day.
Nice.
And then I listen to it one more time to make sure the levels are good.
Gotta pass.
And then I upload it, and then I listen to it one more time as soon as it goes live. Just
dedicated,
to make sure
brother.
It's fine.
Respect to the
grind.
grind.
It's like 5 times.
But thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate you.
We have some guests on soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple people who hit us up.
Two assholes rant back and forth
seriously.
about nothing. This podcast is fucking annoying, bro.
Talking circles.
Look, we're sorry.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna do better.
We're gonna actually just end this podcast off with an apology.
You made it this far, you idiots.
Yeah, jeez Louise, send us money now. We're for sale.
We'll shake babies for money.
Yeah, exactly. But Spencer, hopefully, if he ever gets back into town, start doing stuff.
Yeah.
I thought of this thing approaching Angel and talking to him about doing the Angel share, where he just talks about what he's drinking that week. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm enjoying.
Jesus Christ, Angel impression is crazy. Anyway, but
Love you, brother.
All right, but yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Local Drunks Podcast. This is our outro song, by the way, guys. I don't know why it's Metallica. Local Drunks Podcast.
You sound like KRZR.
Yeah, goes now.
Yeah.
KRZR. It's fucking hot in this room.
It's fucking hot, bro.